Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here to talk a little bit about the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Controller in particular, because it's been really surprising to me. So I've never been the biggest PlayStation fan, like pretty much ever. I mean, I like some of the titles. Of course, the original PlayStation, Final Fantasy VII, one of my most favorite games ever. They had Twisted Metal, I love those games. Tony Hawk Pro Skater was epic. So yes, I've appreciated the titles, but one thing that always held me back with enjoying the experience was the controller. The original controller, I mean, yeah, it was new. It was their original design. Of course, it didn't feel like a Sega or a Nintendo controller, so there was kind of a learning curve. And then they came out with the DualShock controllers. So I've actually got one right here. This is my PlayStation 3 controller, which looks just like the PlayStation 2 controller. Not a whole lot changed there. And yeah, it's nifty because it's got the analog joysticks and all that jazz, but I never liked the joysticks. There just wasn't enough resistance compared to an Xbox controller. I always had a hard time playing games, especially when it came to like first-person shooters. It was just all over the place. So I know people enjoyed them, but I just never personally cared that much. And then the evolution, things kind of changed a little bit again with the PlayStation 4 controller. So the PlayStation 4 controller, the exact same joysticks, and you know, I complained a lot when the PlayStation 4 came out because I'm like, it's the same controller. They just threw this trackpad in the middle that's a touchpad, which, yeah, I mean, it's cool, a little bit of novelty there, but overall, I still didn't care for it that much. And then the PlayStation 5 came out of left field, and they gave us this. This right here, I gotta say, is probably the best controller that I have used in this console gaming age. And for a while, I would have told you that, yeah, I think things are kind of moving towards the PC realm because you just need so much power to play these games nowadays. And this right here really changes the experience. So whenever you look at the PlayStation 5 controller, they completely retooled it. They changed the handle grips on it. The triggers are better. It has adaptive triggers on it. So depending on what you're doing, what kind of game you're playing, it can adjust the strength of the resistance on the triggers for whenever you're playing. And that's just crazy. That's revolutionary. When you look at the controller itself, there are LED lights on both sides of the touchpad, so they light up. I think that looks really cool too. The joysticks finally feel a little bit better, and largely, yes, they are very similar, wherever that one is at. They are very similar, but they do still feel a little bit better to me. Like, I've been playing with them, and it's actually not that bad, especially for playing some first-person shooter stuff. I was playing some Call of Duty with my kids. So they really did a good job with this controller. As far as ergonomics, it's great to hold on to. Your fingers line up nice with the triggers, R1, R2, and then the paddle buttons as well. You've got the share button. You've got a microphone. This controller has a microphone built into it. That's just crazy to me. You can actually use it to, like, you know, talk and stuff. It even has a built-in speaker, and it has dual haptic vibration motors inside of the controller, so you get very good responsive feedback for whenever you're playing games. And it now charges with USB-C, and it doesn't require batteries. You just plug it in and recharge it. That's great. And I think that that's the reason that PlayStation is going to win out this go around whenever it comes to the Xbox. There is a lot of creativity that got put into this. It's felt like a lot of the same old for a long time when it comes to the gaming world, especially when they came out with the PlayStation 4 Pro. They came out with the Xbox One X. It was the same console. They just added a little bit more under their hood instead of coming out with a fully fledged new console. Okay, I get it. Great. That's fine. I've been using the Xbox One X for a long time, and I haven't largely played the PlayStation 4 at all. And now I find myself gravitating towards this because it really adds to the gaming experience. Like, I was sitting there playing Call of Duty, and I was getting sound feedback that came out of my controller. Or whenever I was doing stuff on the setup and things like that, you're able to use this as a touchpad, and it has motion sensing stuff in here, so for certain games that involve like motion controls, you can actually move this around, and with the built-in gyroscope stuff, it actually allows for that too. So in a lot of ways, you know, we've criticized Nintendo for the longest time because they've held back in giving you the best top-notch graphics for a lot of the games. It's kind of been taken a third seat in the third-party world. Of course, their first-party titles are still king, but this right here is going to set the PlayStation 5 apart from the Xbox. The Xbox, I turned it on, and yeah, it's snappy, it's zippy, it is improved, but at the end of the day, it still feels like business as usual. And I don't think people want business as usual anymore. They want something that inspires them. They want something that intrigues them. They want something that enhances the gaming experience and is not just the exact same gaming experience. So if you're a PlayStation gamer, I think that you're the clear winner when it comes to the new controls that they've added for the consoles, because I've got my Xbox Series X controller here. And yeah, it's great. They added some texture here. And yeah, it's great. They added some texture on the triggers. And they've got the share button now. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, it's still just the same Xbox controller we've been using for years and years and years. And you know what? It still requires you to put batteries in it. Batteries. We're in 2020 now, almost into 2021, and they're still too lazy to make it a rechargeable controller. They want you to buy more stuff. That's where another place I give PlayStation credit. You can just plug it in to recharge it. It works out great. And I'm so happy about that, because all you have to do, just throw it on the charger when you get ready to go to bed at night. You will never have any problems for your gaming sessions. So this right here, I think, is the key to victory in this next console war. I mean, if you want to talk about that. I mean, clearly, I don't buy into the console war stuff. I have PlayStation, I have Xbox, I have Nintendo. I have all of them because I truly enjoy just playing games. I like to have the availability for all titles. But if I were to sit down and I only chose just the Xbox or just the PlayStation, and I had an opportunity to look at the controls first and see what the other things are going for it, this right here would probably be the deciding factor in which one that I wanted to pick up, especially if a salesperson sat down and told me about the differences, because this right here is next generation console gaming, and then this is last console gaming, business as usual. And then just one other thing on top of that that really irks me. Yes, there is less baseline storage in the PlayStation 5, but you can use third-party hardware to add additional storage space into your console. Whereas with Microsoft, you have to spend like $230 to get an extra terabyte of storage, and you have to use their storage. So yes, PlayStation did kind of gimp us a little bit on the front end, but at the same point in time, it's much, much easier and more affordable to get external storage to add onto it, and then you get this real next generation console experience. So I think that that was the key for PlayStation. I'm glad that they did this, and this is a head turner and a game changer for me. All these years, I've always hated their controllers, and I've not wanted to play their games because I didn't enjoy the console experience as much as I did on the Xbox for all games created equal. Yes, I would play the PlayStation for first-party titles that I couldn't play elsewhere, but now this right here really makes me want to play the PlayStation more than I do my Xbox. I think that they've done a really good job in changing up the experience. I think that the user interface is better now with what they have set up here. And I think that in the long run, I think more people are going to be drawn to this. But that's just me and my opinion. You may have a different opinion. You may feel differently. But I was really, really impressed for once with what Sony did with the PlayStation, especially with the controller, as opposed to what Microsoft did. So that's all I got. This controller is fantastic. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. Hopefully you were able to get your hands on a PlayStation 5. If not, blame the bots, and you can probably be a little irritated with Walmart and all the other retailers who made it really, really difficult to try and get a new one. Walmart being probably one of the better ones. But yeah, it's been very frustrating, this console refresh cycle with the new next generation consoles, because every time people go out and try and get these consoles, this websites are just completely shut down and bombarded by bots, and then they turn around and resell these things. So yes, hopefully you've been able to get one. I know it's probably a source of frustration, but eventually more will come in, and then when you get your hands on this new controller, I think it's going to be a game changer in the game world. So again, that's all I've got. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And I also have the new channel memberships available as well, which you can hit that if you want to become a member of the Tech Odyssey channel. So that's all I've got. As always, thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you guys next time.